So it's August 29th. And last night it just rained, so I'm walking through puddles to get out here. It was just sheets of rain. Oh, jeez. I just stepped in a puddle. And I've got I've got sandals on. So this is my corn. Look at that. I've got corn. That'll be so cool if that actually grows. And then there's my pickles underneath the corn. Lots of flowers. I've already gotten lots of pickles off of it, and they're big. And believe it or not, my sunflowers actually growed. They're nice and big. Although I only got a few of the lower plants that were supposed to grow underneath them. And this is my daughter's. Oh, you can see my shadow. My baby girl's sunflower. Look at all those flowers. Holy cow. And then some trees died. Yeah. And then here's more sunflowers. This is the first one that's about to open out of all my big ones. Tanis's little sunflowers grew. And then I have one little flower that opened up underneath. That's kind of cool. And absolutely nothing grew in my bed out front here. Nothing. Not a darn thing. Kind of bummed. But, you know, that's how it works. And there's a cat. The cat will follow me everywhere I go. Kind of cool. So here's my backyard. So I grew pole beans up these little teepee poles. And so far I've got lots of growth, but no beans yet. We'll see if I get any before the growing season ends, but I'm told they probably won't grow anything. But they look good. So cool. And I do have flowers coming in there. But just nothing growing off of them. Nothing at all. And here's my other trellis thingy. Oh, I bought these seeds from the Urban Homestead down in Pasadena. I just had to see if I could grow them. Next year I'm going to grow them differently. But I'm very proud of this one big humongous squash that's growing. Otherwise I got a whole bunch of little ones growing all over the place. Which is so cool. And there's 2 tomato plants here. Obviously a lot. And it's hanging right down to the ground. And squash. I've already gotten, I think, 4 from this plant. Oh, and then there's another one right next to it. Oops. Which is, what do you call that darn thing? Zucchini. I never planted zucchini, so I don't know why I have that. And then, oh look, I still got big flowers coming off of this plant. That's the one that has the big long guy growing off of it. And then I got this tomato plant, which fell over. It's actually 2 tomato plants. And it's covering up this squash here. And I've tried several times to try and make it stand up, and it's not gonna. So I'm going to change how I do it next year. And then here's another plant, and I've already gotten, I think, another 4 off of this one. They were humongous. And here's yet another tomato plant. And I planted 2 tomato plants in a tire. Yeah, I know. Experts tell me that's wrong. So, but they worked. They grew good. My peas are already all died off. Pretty much. My nasturtiums are just going wild. They're just coming way out here. I've never grown them before. So I'll have to try again next year. And my strawberries, see, I want this whole raised bed to be nothing but strawberries, and they're making a good show of it because there are strawberry plants underneath the nasturtiums. There are strawberry plants underneath my bush beans. So once the summer's done here, I'll be pulling everything else out. Oh my goodness, I actually have one of my bulbs finally started growing. I planted bulbs in there. Yeah, so that should be fun. So in the fall, I'll just pull everything out and let the strawberries work its way next year. I won't bother planting anything else in here. Oh, and then I have a traveling gnome. Unfortunately, I paid a whole lot for that little guy, and then all the paint is coming off. Apparently, you're only supposed to keep him inside. So I'm going to repaint him and seal him. And then I've got lots of chives. And my lettuce it looks like it's about to go to seed, which is kind of cool. I haven't been eating much salad lately, which is weird. Dill. I gotta pickle those pickles that I pulled off the vine already, so those will come in handy shortly. Chard. Yeah. I think we ate chard twice. So, I don't know if I want to plant chard again next year. More types of onions. God, I planted lots of onions in here, but not much grew. And lots of carrots. I'm quite happy with my carrots. Although, I definitely got to grow more carrots next year. I think I should do nothing but a carrot bed. And the beets. Liz has been eating the beets. I told you the cat would follow me everywhere. It's a weird cat. And more peas. They're almost all gone. Here's my potatoes. Oh my goodness. I can't wait to finish digging all those up. I dug some up at the other end there, and I took a bag full to my brother. Oh, those were big potatoes. And now I've got stuff growing here. I planted pumpkins. That's what these big plants are supposed to be, is pumpkins. But, well, there's a little green one growing. And then this one over here kind of looks like a watermelon, not a pumpkin. So I'm kind of confused. Yeah. Unless, of course, it changes. I've never actually had a pumpkin that actually grew before, so never had a watermelon that grew before either. So we'll see. I have 3 of them growing now. There's those 2 at that end, and then there's one at this end. Yeah. And, you know, they keep telling you that you've got to, if you don't have lots of bees, you've got to make your plants pollinate together. And yeah, I had to do that. That first one was pollinated, the second one, the big one, was pollinated by bees. But the other 2 I did myself. So I'm quite proud of myself. Next year I'll make sure and do more. Or catch them when the flowers open up. And try and get it earlier in the year. So these are my watermelons. Aren't they big? I had trouble growing them. I had sprouted them in the house, and then when I brought them out, they died. So I just stuck seeds in to see if I could grow it. So I think I'll just stick seeds in next year and try and do it early. Yeah. Meow. And then my raspberry bushes, I have 2 rows of them. These ones are just freshly transplanted. They used to be down here at this end, and I moved them over there. So I'm not going to let them get any further than that. And I've also decided to do one of those thingies where I contain them so that they're not flopping over, especially when they were full of berries. Oh my goodness, they were just flopping. And these are my sweet potatoes. Yeah. So it took forever to sprout sweet potatoes in the house. So next year I'm right now it's a success to me because I was able to get them to grow in the dirt after they sprouted. Yeah. So I think around Christmas time I'm going to um, start them in the house, start sprouting them in the house, and maybe by the time the weather's nice I'll be able to put them out and get an actual crop next year. So I had started herbs in the house. A lot of them died, and it's all thanks to that lovely little bug that likes to burrow its way down and eat all the roots, or at least their larvae does. So I actually brought all the herbs outside because, well, they were all dying. And this is what has happened since I brought them out here. They've actually grown, and we didn't actually pick anything off of it. Well, Liz did a couple times. But now that they've all gone to flower, the taste has changed. So I just think they look pretty now. So I'm going to try it again, and hopefully won't get the bugs in the house again. And then this is my house plant. I think I've pretty much killed the actual plant that was put in there. See all the dangly thingies? That's the actual plant. Those purple thingies are just loving it out here. I have no idea what they were, because the plant that these came out of was my brother's, whose before that was my dad's. So they always grew in his plant, and it's just weird because I found the roots that they grow out of, and then I just stuck them back in the plant. And then every now and then they sprout and grow, and it's like so cool, and they actually have flowers growing off of them. So, but I can't just have a pot of them, because normally you don't get this many, and they don't sprout all that often. They die off, and then it's like 3-4 months before you see them again or remember that they're there. And I've actually got some of these growing with the tomatoes, because I used some of the dirt that was in the pot. I thought that was so cool. So, well, it's neat. And I have one carrot that grew in the pot, although it's not actually growing anything underneath, which is weird. It's just all bush. So, but that's my garden.